The meaning of the movie author Orpheus to read 6 minutes published 28.08. 2020 updated 4.12. 2022 The movie, The Argument, Christopher Nolan, a dizzying puzzle in which it is extremely difficult to guess the logical chain. The viewer is completely immersed in incredible events. A person, without noticing himself, becomes one of the squares of the Rubik's Cube, as it was already in the movie, remember, about. The meaning of which we have already told you. The argument, explosive intriguing mixture, leaving after viewing a peculiar aftertaste, a sense of inner emptiness. The movie intertwines scientific theories, philosophical thoughts, fantastic events, as it was in the movie Interstellar, which we have already analyzed. What is the true meaning of the movie, The Case? Just about this we will talk today. The meaning of the movie. The main idea of the movie is difficult to grasp, and plot twists turn the viewer's mind. It seems that there is real chaos on the screen, which is unrealistic to imagine in life. But this is only at first glance. Intricacy is what attracts the viewer. It's like you're on a roller coaster. At first you are sure that everything goes according to a pre-planned scenario. But after the next turn you realize that you are in frustration, having completely lost the thread of the narrative. However, in the finale everything will fall into place. The movie, The Argument, can be called a tale of confused time. It is time that becomes the main character of the movie. It is extremely difficult to control it, in some cases, and in some cases it is impossible. Time runs at an inexorable speed, then slows down, then regains momentum. The future is intertwined with the past. It is at such moments that a person forgets to live in the present. He is completely dependent on time. The main character faces a difficult and responsible task. He must prevent the Third World War. To do this, he must learn to manage time. The director masterfully divides the plot into several lines. Nolan stayed true to himself. The complex, intricate concept Nolan came up with is not easy to unravel. It is a multi-layered movie in which every action depends on the flow of time. The direction can be different. Objects can move from the past to the future or vice versa. In some moments you should not even go into them, you should feel them, feel yourself as a direct participant. Acting persons move in different directions. This unusual ability opens up amazing prospects for them. The character has the ability to transmit to himself important information from the future. Heroes can move into the past, and simultaneously find themselves in two places. Perhaps the audience's brain is not ready for such turns of events. To comprehend what is happening, it is worth watching the movie several times. One thing is certain, this tape will not let the viewer go for a long time. Why does the motion picture, The Argument, has such a resounding success? According to the director, the idea for the movie, Argument, he nurtured for many years. The advantage of the movie is a brilliant performance of the cast. Although they were extremely difficult. In the fights shown on the screen, the actors had to not print a fist in the face of the character, but on the contrary to pull out of it. It is even difficult to understand, not to mention the performance. In the movie, the director paid attention to the love line. A real family drama played out on the screen. The audience witnessed the finale of many years of sick relationships. Characters, emotionally bright individuals who sometimes could not cope with their feelings. They were ready to do anything for love, even if for this they would have to destroy the whole world. A special immersive atmosphere is created by the incredible music. The soundtrack does not take away the viewer's attention. On the contrary, the melody complements the narration, helps the director to show the versatility of the events taking place on the screen. The audience is mesmerized listening to the soundtrack, which sounds as if in rewind. The composer coped with his task brilliantly. He managed to hook the viewer. In the motion picture, scientific theories are demonstrated. However, the viewer cannot double-check everything that happens on the screen. He can only trust his intuition and believe the creators of the motion picture. The viewer accepts all the physics that is shown to him. The meaning of the movie, The Argument, is that man has a present. It is in his present that he must exist. The past should not hang on him as a dead weight. A person cannot change the events that once took place. That is why one should not return to them. Nolan already expressed this idea in the movie Inception, the meaning of which we discussed not so long ago. Only the present is stable. Neither the past nor the future should not worry you much. Confidence in the future, it may be a good thing. But no one guarantees that everything will go according to a pre-planned scenario. The film, The Reason, for those who like to solve mysteries, analyze, compare events, follow the details. To delve into the movie, you need to watch it more than once. After all, to realize the whole picture of actions, it will take time. The meaning of the finale. The slogan of the movie Argument was the phrase, "Do not try to understand it, feel it." The story shown in the movie is difficult to comprehend in that it undergoes many temporal changes. Characters are heading back and forth to the past, then to the future. Sometimes they just stand still. But always one thing remains unchanged: the heroes are confidently approaching their goal. In his work, the director sharply states that it is not necessary to understand everything that is happening on the screen. It is meaningless. A man must reorganize his thinking. This is the profound meaning of the ending of the movie, The Argument. It is important to be able to think outside the box, to get away from templates and categories that have long since become obsolete. The protagonist of the film managed to understand this simple truth. He became the master of his life. He gained control over his actions, and over the situation as a whole. Therefore, at the end of the movie, the events that took place on the screen do not seem so unrealistic. As long as we are alive, everything is possible. One can argue with this phrase. However, the director clearly and directly said with his movie that you cannot play with time. But a person can learn to manage it. Then incredible prospects for growth and development will open before him. On this optimistic note, we conclude our analysis of the meaning of the movie, The Case, by Christopher Nolan. If you still have any questions or suggestions, be sure to write them in the comments. Have a peaceful sky above your head and see you soon. Admin.